Okay, this might finally be the end of NSRS, and we've got to get it on video. Hit 90 some odd cents yesterday. Now it's breaking below 80 cents. So let's watch the bid support if it's able to have bid support. If there's no bid support, like if these bids just start dropping really quickly, uh-oh. Look at ABBA jumping down here. Look, the bids are starting to drop. No bid support. Oh man. This could be ugly. This could be really ugly. Look at the asks stacking. Bids dropping on barely any volume. Look at that huge dump in those last 3 minutes. Look, Micah best bid at 7705. Definitely covering a short. Let's see if he stays there though. You want to see if trades start going below the bid. Like right now the bid is 77. If we start seeing 75s print up, there's one, 75. That could be a sign that we're going lower. Not a lot of volume coming out though, so let's see. We need a really good dump. Here we go. Look at how they're stacking so close to the current bid. The shorts are really getting aggressive here. If you were in this stock right now, this is when you should be selling. When you see this type of activity on level 2, this is dangerous. This is why you can't leave your computer when you're trading these pumps, because at any time they can just pull the bid support directly out from underneath you. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, these guys have pumped this stock from 14 cents all the way up to 94 cents yesterday. So that's sick. I mean, that's epic. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one really start tanking. But to be honest, we're not yet seeing the extreme dumping that we need to see. There's actually some really good bid support above 75. Oh, 75's printing though. Now the ask stacking again. Remember, we wanted to see trades going on below the bid to signal that we might be getting the big dump. That's exactly what's happening. The bid was 765, we had 75s going. The ask stacking very quickly. Down tick. Only 3 market makers bidding above 75. But look at Knight. Knight and Auto, the 2 main retail market makers, they don't want anything to do with this right now. Look how quickly the asks are stacking. Getting a phone call from my buddy who is calling to tell me that NSRS is tanking. So let's see what he has to say. Hello? Yep, I'm getting a live video of it right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll call you back. But so it's big news because everybody is watching NSRS tank. So you know, here we go. Ask stacking again, just really coming down. Let's see if they can hold it here. I mean, guys, this could be really, really bad. Let's see if they start printing 72s and 73s. There's 735s. Ask down ticking again. Volume starting to come out. UBSS 60K on the ask. 72's printing now, below the bid. If they break 70, then this is really going to drop. It'll make for a nice bounce play too. Again, aggressive down ticking on the ask. Look how quickly the asks are stacking. Starting to get some bids above 70. The people behind this know that if it breaks 70, I mean, it's essentially done. Finally. Right now, from yesterday's high, we're already talking about a 23% drop. Feel bad for those people who are buying 90s. But that's why at stockhaven.com, you know, we always tell people you got to be careful with these, and you shouldn't come in and play after it's already made its big run. Let's see if they start printing 70s below this bid here. Oh man. Just constant down ticks. 4, 5. They're printing 70s. This thing's going to break 70. Watch WDCO. He's been the head honcho in charge of this big move. So it'll be curious to see what he does if he comes and puts up a big bid or something. But I mean, 70's printing below the 7005 bid. Shorts really jumping on. This is what the shorts have been waiting for. And one of the things that signaled to us that this might be getting exhausted is yesterday it traded 20 million shares, yet was only able to rise like 8% or so. Versus the day before it traded 20 million shares and it was able to rise like 30%. So not very good price action yesterday. Again, looking at the 3-minute volumes picking up. Just no bid support. Remember at the beginning of this video, we talked about how there's not going to be any bid support. That's exactly what's happening. Look, below 68, the bid drops to 655. So people who haven't yet sold this, who are stuck, they're trying to get out now, and they're having a really, really hard time filling because there's no bid support, and that's why you're seeing the asks stack up in the manner that they're doing so. Again, you really got to be careful when you're playing these. You have to sell on the way up. If you try selling on the way down, this is what happens. Down 22% on the day now. At 68 from yesterday's high of 94, we're now down 27%. So still not dramatic yet. We need a nice 30-40% tank, but this is well on its way. I mean, this thing has got to be done. You can see, again, the bids just keep dropping. No mercy on the ask. They just keep down ticking. Let's see if they down tick as aggressively again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So still not yet any signs that they're done taking this lower. 5 now on the ask. Another down tick. Let's see if he gets members to market makers to follow. Got 3 on the ask now. They're printing 67s below the best bid. Let's see if they start. Oh, look, we had a 65 print go through. Volume is lower though on our 3-minute chart, as you can see over here. So a little slowdown, but still not yet close to bouncing yet. We're still getting the aggressive downticks on the ask. Some decent bids above 65. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 market makers bidding at 66.5 or above. But let's see if they stay there. Remember, we've got 5, now we're down to 4. Now we're down to 3. Two. Soon it'll just be 1. Oh, back by 3 by 3 again. They're printing 66s. Down back to 1. Now here we are. Okay, there we go. So now we've got 5 market makers bidding at 66 or higher. Let's see how that works. Up, lost 1. Now we're down to 4. Back up. Now we've got 5, but here we lost another one. So they're printing 65s. So below the bid, they're printing. The asks are still being really aggressive. Now we're down to 3. Down 25% now. Off the highs by about 30%. Really aggressive on the ask. Let's see if they break this 66. They're going to hold it here, so we're going to play a bounce. Buy shares right here at 6616. Should bounce back up to 70. Now we're buying here because you can see the bids have stacked a lot. The ask has dropped off. So we're going to fill here. We're going to catch a nice little bounce back up to 70. But overall, though, I mean, this thing got decimated today. So, you know, we're not going to be sticking around. This is just going to be a quick 5-minute play. Maybe not even that long. You can see now we've only got 3 market makers below 70. Should be good for 68s at least. Put a 70 target on it. Look, now we're getting all the short covering. Just like we had the aggressive action on the ask on the way down, now we're getting really aggressive action on the bid. That's because shorts, they all shorted the crap out of this around, you know, high 80s, low 90s. So now they have a killing, and now they're covering. And it's just going to be a lot of short covering is going to cause a bounce in this until they decide to start shorting it again. Look what's going on the bid. This is exactly what you want to see. And you saw in real time live that we caught absolutely dead bottom on this stock. It's all because we watched level 2 closely, and you know, we had our chart over here guiding us as well. But the bid's starting to drop a little bit. So now we want to see this huge volume spike, and it looks like it might dip just a tad. We want to see, does the volume stay low on this dip? So we're going to watch our 3-minute chart to signal that we've still got a bounce up to 70 cents in store for us. The low was 65. You had some prints go on below the bid. So you're going to use that 65 cent level as kind of your stop loss on this bounce play. and we're in at 66, so that's a nice risk reward because we're only a penny, our stop loss is only a penny away, so if we do have to take a loss, the loss will be minimal, versus our target of 70 cents is 4 cents away. So we're talking about a profit to loss ratio of 4 to 1, which is very nice. So let's see how this plays out. The ass stacking is going on again, but we're getting some bid stacking above 66, so we want to see if these bids above 66 will hold, and what the level 2 does on the ask as well. Volume is lower compared to that last candle. I mean, clearly a lot of short covering happened during that last candle, as represented by a 3-minute chart, this big volume spike. Notice that the asks aren't stacking tremendously this time like they were on the way down the last time. So that's a sign that there's not a lot of shorting going on right here, and we actually should still be good for our bounce back up to 70. So we want to see the bids, start stacking like they're doing now. You just kind of got to give it some time. Look, we've got some manipulation going on. BMAS, 1 million share bid at 661. So that's only going to encourage the shorts to cover even more, which for us is great because we're going to reap the rewards of this bounce. But you notice we didn't get shaken out because it dipped after we bought it. We stayed patient, we stayed calm, we watched the level 2 closely just like we have been, and we're still going to make out great on this trade based on what I'm seeing right now. I mean, things can change in a heartbeat, but based on what I'm seeing, we're still going to get to our 70-cent target. Look, just had 70s print right there. That's a good sign. That tells you orders are in above the ask. 68 printed, so there's clearly orders being put in above the ask. A lot of people are trying to catch this bounce. Luckily, we already caught it. We don't need to worry about that. The aggressive upticks on the bid, exactly what you want to see. 68's going, only 2 market makers, only 3 market makers below 70 cents. Now we're up to 68. Let's see if we get aggressive bid stacking. Look, 50K block at 675, bid didn't budge. Great sign. One left at 68, then 69s are up. Remember we said watch WDCO? We said to watch him earlier in the video. Look how aggressive he's being on the bid. Want to see it break above 68. Otherwise, we might have to do some adjusting to our target and just get out right here. Alright, we're going to get out right here at 6794. You always got to adjust. So have a target, but be willing to adjust. We just talked about that we want to see it break 68. It wasn't doing that. So that, my friends, is first things first, a stock tanking and the end of a great promotion. And again, how to catch the bounce on these things. And you can see, once again, the asks are stacking up, and it'll be funny to see what happens with this million share bid, if it magically goes away or what happens. But at any rate, that's all for now.